Hi, this is Shane Morton with IndieExpress.com, and I'm here with Steve Callahan and Matthew Montgomery from the feature film Roleplay. Hey guys, thanks for sitting down with us and talking about the film. Tell us a little bit about how you came to be involved in Roleplay.
I go?
You go.
Um,
Oh, no, you go.
no. Go ahead.
It's going to be trouble, I'm just letting you know.
The genesis of Roleplay, Rob Williams, the writer-director, and his partner Rodney, and the two of us go to Vegas a lot. And Rob had come up with an idea called the Vegas movie, which is the original, working title, where he talked about the idea of two guys meeting in Vegas for a weekend and having a fling, and then really kind of going back to where they were and deciding whether this was just a fling or if there's something there. So that was sort of the idea that he kept floating around and talking about. And then he and his partner went to Palm Springs and stayed at the inn that we ended up shooting Roleplay in. And he sort of got inspired there, and sort of in his mind changed locales and thought, well, what if these guys meet in Palm Springs? And so he started writing, and so the idea had been floating around for a while, and then once he had a script, he sent it to us and said, let's make the movie, and so we did, and it was fun.
So this is your first time acting together on film in leading roles opposite each other, but you've done, I think, pornography together, not... Pornography, a thriller. Surprise! Which is kind of what happens to, I think, your character in the film, right? Like you get caught in a porno situation. So how was that like coming together as a real life couple and then doing this together? I'm sure it was probably very easy.
It was very easy. I mean, I think that because Steve and I already had worked together in Pornography, a Thriller, and we had also done a couple of plays together, including WeHo, which is this crazy, like, farcical sort of play, and then also Corpus Christi, which he's been doing for the past 4 years. And we also did a web series together. So we sort of already knew what the dynamic would be like working together. And then we were just able to take it a step further by actually working on this film opposite each other as leads, and kind of really sort of exploring what we would be like in a relationship together in the context of that, of this film. And so it was really nice to kind of actually have that opportunity.
Well, the script sounds kind of timely right now. A lot of focus is put on gay celebrities, I think, to begin with. Whether or not they want it there, especially from gay publications and gay radio and that kind of stuff. And then going through a marriage activist going through a divorce. I mean, right now that our first divorces have been happening across the country, of course, because everyone's human. Tell us a little bit about your characters and kind of about the process of getting into them.
One of the things I loved about the script was how smart and how timely and how political the script was. Originally I heard it was going to be about two guys meeting in Palm Springs, and when I started to read it and see that we really tackle issues with my characters, the whole issue of being in the closet as an actor and outing and whether that's okay and what happens when people out, and do they have a responsibility to come out and live their lives authentically for the public or just for themselves? Is that important? And then with Matt's character, with the whole gay marriage issue, and then when you take those two platforms and from there have these characters have really interesting discussions about them and brings up all the other topics that are really important to the gay community, that's what I was really thrilled by the script, that Rob wrote something that people will leave the theater really talking about, and it was exciting.
Yeah, I mean, Rob writes fantastic, smart scripts, I think, always. You are on board with Rob, and I think you are too, Steve, as producers for the film, right? You are. What was the process of kind of dealing with... it was an 8-day shoot, so I'm sure there was a lot of producing you probably had to do along with being in the film. You want to talk a little bit about that process?
Yeah, well, luckily, Rob and Rodney are so efficient and so good at what they do, and so having that kind of support makes being in the film alongside producing it just so much easier. I don't know how easy it would be for me to do that with another team. I've never really been put in that situation, although I'm about to now, and with another film that I'm going to be producing and starring in. But one of the things that I've really had the just the fortunate circumstance with Rob and Rodney is that we've kind of grown together as filmmakers. We started with Long-Term Relationship, went on to Back Soon, and then 3 Day Weekend, Make the Old Taike, and now this one. And so we've sort of had a really good and lengthy opportunity to sort of figure out how each other works, what our strengths are, and how much preparation that we have to do before we go into production. So that really helps.
So it's a smooth ride because you know each other very well.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, making a film is always kind of like
As smooth as it can be.
train wreck. But there's always going to be some stuff that goes wrong. Otherwise, something's, you know what I mean? You're I don't know, like completely oblivious or something to reality, but disillusioned or something. But luckily, I think that we've been able to sort of anticipate those problems before they happen, and so we can kind of lay the platform for handling them in the most efficient way before it happens. And so we've been very lucky to just be able to instinctively kind of know what we're up for before it even happens.
Now, being out actors here in Hollywood, do you really see you do a lot of independent gay film? Do you see the support of the community in terms of how they embrace the films kind of about themselves? We've always had this idea that if celebrities would come out of the closet, they would be supported by the gay community, and then the gay community would in turn see the films that they're making, because we want our celebrities to come out of the closet if they want to live a life that they choose to live out. We want to be able to take care of them and kind of embrace them and support them. Do you see kind of the gay community in terms of independent film doing that for gay cinema?
I do feel that one of the things that, at least for me personally, has allowed me to even have a career is the amount of loyalty and support from the LGBT community. And so that is actually what has kept me consistently working. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you right now. So I definitely owe everything and everything that I've been able to do to the gay community. If we didn't have the kind of support that we did have, there wouldn't be as many gay filmmakers out there making the kind of content that we want to see and telling the stories about our lives that need to be told,
So what's happening next for the two of you?
I start shooting a new movie in August called Abrupt Decision, written and directed by Paul Bright, who has made some movies with Silly Bunny Pictures. And we're shooting in Texas in August, so that's the next thing that I'm going to.
So that'll be hot. Hotter than it is up here.
Very hot. Texas in August, yes.
And for you, Matt?
But you'll be keeping your clothes on, right?
I do, yes.
It'll be an abrupt decision.
So I'm working on a romantic comedy with starring myself, David Moretti, and Rebecca Cochin, called Finding Mr. Right, and we start shooting in August, and that's something that I'm also producing with Nandar Entertainment. And so we're doing that in August and September is when we start shooting. And then I'm also developing and I'm in pre-production for Stick Figures, which is a film that I wrote and will star and produce as well. And so we're just finalizing the last bit of financing for that, and hopefully we'll get that up in the next year. So if anybody has a big bag of money that they don't know what to do with, you can call me.
Where can people find you, YouTube on the web? Find out what's going on with you.
Gosh.
Facebook,
Facebook, Twitter.
My website is stevecallahan.com, stevecallahan.com, and Facebook, Steve Callahan in Los Angeles.
Any bathroom stall, I think if you go into my numbers, okay, so seriously, so my website is matt-montgomery.com, and all my information is on there, and I'm on Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff.
Great. Well, thank you two very much for coming and sitting down and talking to us. This has been Shane Morton with IndieExpress.com with Steve Callahan and Matthew Montgomery from the feature film Role Play. Keep watching.